Hi, everybody. My name is David. I'm with the Heartland Online Payments team. I'm going to do a quick demo of the Heartland for Service Professionals software system that we have. It's a cloud-based system, so you sign in from anywhere, from any device, tablets, cell phones, PCs, laptops. Once you log in to the system, you'll first land on the user dashboard. And what it's going to do is populate all of the important information, kind of a 30,000 foot view at a glance version of your business. Today's payments, unpaid invoices, past due. We tried to make this information actually valuable to you. So you'll see your failed payments, successful payments, a complete sales summary, as well as the top selling services and inventory items, the top 10 of each. So at a glance, you can quickly see which of your services and inventory items are the most popular and are selling the best. The system itself is a modular system, meaning it's a very feature-rich system, and some of these features may not apply to certain business use cases. So, for instance, if your business didn't need the work orders functions, when we set up the system for you, we could turn that off to reduce the clutter and make the system more streamlined for your particular business. I'll start at the bottom here, just show you how your customers are added. We have a customers tab. It's going to list all of your customers. You can sort and search. You can show all of your customers. Uh, you can sort them by individual or by business customers. And when you add a customer, one of the nice things is you can add them as an individual or a business. So you can separate out the customer types. This is a multi-location system. So if you have multiple locations, all of the locations can be tied into this system. And then when you're adding a customer, you can either add it to a single location, or if you have multiple locations, you can add that customer to that particular location. Or you can add it to across the entire chain. So we collect all the information about the customer, and then you can add them. We do store credit card information for each customer. Multiple credit cards can be stored for each customer, and each customer have their own customer portal that they can log into to manage their information, their address, their credit cards they have stored on file, etc. So they can go in and update that information themselves. Here's where you would manage your locations. If you needed to add an additional location, you could do that here. So if you're a 5-location heating and air company, we could have all your locations, and each location would be tied to its own merchant account and its own bank account. So I'll start at the top. We'll take a look at inventory. All inventory is managed through the inventory tab. We have both items and services that can be added. So you can add your items, your physical pieces of inventory, and you can also add your services here. So to add a piece of inventory, you simply add item here. You can choose an image file, the name of the piece of inventory, where you want the visibility. So if we're creating an online store, which I'll show you here in a minute, you would click this box and it would automatically add this piece of item for sale on your online store. And also for the checkout feature, which is our face-to-face POS, point of sale system, you could add it there. You can select category for the item to go into. You would add an item description here, which is very important especially for the online store, where your customers are purchasing this item online. A good quality item description is important. If you're selling that item from only a particular location, you could select the location. Item unit. So you can set up the item units in the inventory management screen. I'll show you in a second. But for instance, let's say it was a 6-pack of beer or a case of beer. The unit item could be selected here. If there's a SKU number attached, you'd enter that, and of course the price, and you could add the item. So the units are set here. So if you had cases, 6-packs, 12-packs. I'm using a liquor store as an example here, but you get the gist. This is where you would add different units for your pieces of inventory. All inventory is tied together. So whether you sell an item on your online store, you sell it for face-to-face, or you sell it on on an invoice, it's all going to be tied together, and the inventory is managed out that way. Next down is our work orders piece. And this is for managing work orders for services and assigning work orders to specific employees and to specific customers for specific services. So at a glance, you can see the work orders for a specific date, the status that they're in. I'll quickly show you how to add a work order. So service work order, you'll select the employee that's assigned to this. Let's see, staff. You'll assign what customer. If they're an existing customer, they'll be listed. You can always add a customer on the fly as you're creating, and it will save it. But if the customer is a a repeat customer, we'll have them on file. We'll select them. You don't have to enter a start and end time, but if you're really managing your work orders, you can enter a start and end time. So if it's a 2-hour job, you could go from 2 to 4 p.m. here. If it's a job that takes multiple days to complete, you can set up a multiple day work order. It's automatically going to populate the customer's address, contact and email address information. Now we'll add the services. So let's just say we're doing a consultation. The service price will automatically populate, and you can save this work order. So let's do this work order for tomorrow or later today. Once that work order is saved, the employee is emailed that work order information so that you can create work orders while the employees are out or service technicians are out in the field. They'll be notified that the work order has been assigned to them, and they'll also get all of the customer information, the date and time that they're expected to be at the job site, and then they can manage that work order remotely from their tablet if they're using a tablet, for instance. So we'll close that out for now. It's going to show your statuses here. If it's completed, that means it's been paid for. New means it hasn't been started. Pending payment means that the job has been completed, but it hasn't been paid for. So for instance, if I'm a service employee, I'm on site, I just completed a job, you can either send the customer an invoice, or you're more than likely going to collect payment right there on site. So you would collect pay via card on file. Each employee will have their own password. If there was a card on file, it would be listed here, and I would just select that. Since this is a demo system, I don't have a credit card information stored, so I would just say click here to pay via card. I could add this card to the customer's account, read the terms and conditions, and I would start entering the credit card information. It's going to tell you what kind of card it is. It's also based on what kind of card it is going to tell you where on the card the CVV code is located in case the customer is unsure where to look for that. It's going to show you right here, a little red circle. You just complete this information, process the payment, and then it's going to mark that this is going to mark that work order as completed. So you can quickly, by date, view all the work orders, what employees have been assigned to those work orders, the start and end date on those, and the status. So really nice way to manage work orders. Next piece in this system is our invoicing platform. And this, of course, is a way to send electronic invoices out to customers. At a quick glance, you'll see the status that the invoices are paid in. You can search invoices. You can sort them any which way you want. And of course, you can create an invoice. These invoices are going to be fully branded for your business, so it's going to have your logo, all of your business information on them. Again, you can add the customer on the fly, or if they're a current customer, you can simply search for them. It's going to auto-populate their information, including their email address where we're going to send this invoice. And then you would just simply start adding line items. Any of basically it's going to populate the amount of the item, say test item 1, $200. If you want to add if there's tax rates, we can set that up for you ahead of time. If you want to add a convenience fee to offset the cost of card processing, that can be added here. You would simply save the invoice, and then you could email that out. If there was a card on file for this customer, you could automatically pay for that invoice with the card on file. So invoicing platform for, if you have customers that have terms with you, then this is a very effective way to send out and manage invoicing. Our checkout piece essentially is our face-to-face feature. So this would be for use in a retail or in-store location for customers who are coming in and purchasing items from you. We can connect a barcode scanner so that you can scan items. So if you're scanning in inventory, you can scan items out as you check out. But let's just say they're purchasing this item here, quantity of 2, add to cart. We can continue to add items, or if they're purchasing services, you can add a consultation with this item, and then you would simply complete the order. If they're a new customer, you can add them on the fly like we normally can, or if they're an existing customer and they have a card on file, we could simply click this button, and if there was a card on file, we would click here and just click process payment. It would process the credit card they have on file, or if they wanted to use a different card, we could enter their zip code and the card information, process the credit card, and it would save that card for later use. So there could be multiple credit cards stored on file for each customer. So that's the face-to-face checkout feature. The PAX A920 is a terminal that would probably be most widely used in this use case, where you're using this as essentially a cash register POS system. We can also manage cash payments. So to fully account for all of your receivables, you can process a cash payment. You just enter the cash amount here of $500 process payment. And it's going to, for reporting purposes and for accounts receivable purposes, you can process cash payments using this system. So let's let this finish. The next piece down is our e-commerce piece. And essentially what we do here is we build you an e-commerce store that's tied in with all of your inventory. So whether you sell an item online or face-to-face, or you invoice a piece of inventory, it's all going to be tied together. So I'll just show you an example of an online store we built for Willow Rock Museum. This is their actual website. We did not build this website. This is Willow Rock Museum's website. But if you see this shop button here in the upper right-hand corner, if you click that button, it's going to take you to the online store that Heartland built for them. We host this store on our server, and it's all managed through the e-commerce piece of the Heartland for Service Professionals. So this is the e-commerce dashboard. So for the Willow Rock Museum, any orders that take place through this online store are going to show up right here in the orders section for fulfillment. It'll show all of the orders. It'll show the payment status. It's also integrated with Shippo, which is a shipping plugin, which you would choose if you're shipping items out. You would choose which carrier you're using, whether that's UPS, FedEx, USPS, and Shippo will auto-calculate the amount of shipping, the costs based on the weight of the item and the shipping delivery address, and would automatically populate that during checkout. All the orders are over here. If you need details on an order, you can simply click on the order number and quickly view all of the information, the billing address, payment details, delivery address, and the status that it's in. This is currently being processing. On the order, and all of this can be managed. So what we'll do is we'll build your e-commerce store. We'll build the main portion of it. We'll show you how to add inventory. We'll add your initial number of SKUs to get you started, and then basically the business will manage that store themselves going forward. But it's very intuitive, easy to use, and a wonderful way to tie all of your inventory together, whether you're selling in person, online, or you're invoicing out. Last thing I'll talk about real quick is you can set up different users and roles. So if you're a multi-location chain, you may have one administrator who manages all of the locations, maybe the owner, and then you may have managers for each store location that just need access to the information for that. So you can set up different users with different permission levels and roles and access levels so that they're only able to access what they need to access and can't see all of the information for all of the businesses, for instance. Do have an audit trail, so all of the actions within the system are kept track of by user, and so should an investigation need to take place, the audit trail is there, and all that information is saved from the start um, in perpetuity until you stop using the system. So that's kind of it in a nutshell. My name is David again with Heartland Payment Systems. My phone number is 405-724-4497, or if you receive this video from another e-commerce rep, feel free to reach out to them if you have any questions. Thank you very much. Have a great day.